Hi, my name is Gloria, and today my group of friends and I will be presenting a video as we have recently come up with a business idea of selling honey. In this presentation, we will be looking at business structures to determine what the best business structure is for our idea. A business structure is the way a business is organized or arranged, and in our presentation, we'll look at the disadvantages and advantages of three structures: the sole trader, partnership, and company. The reason why is this will help us identify the strengths and weaknesses of each one and help us choose which one is best for our business. In the end, we'll look at the best legal business structure for our business. Next, I'm going to hand over to Abel, who will be talking about disadvantages of a sole trader.
Thanks, Gloria. For my segment, I'll be talking about the disadvantages of what it is to be a sole trader. First of all, what is a sole trader? A sole trader is an individual who manages and controls a business. And with any business comes its ups and downs. One down is unlimited liability. Unlimited liability touches on how the sole proprietor of the business will have any and all losses or debt fall onto them, which pretty much just speaks on how the honey business falls into debt, the owner will have to pay for it. Another disadvantage is the limitation of time, skill, and investment made by the owner. This aspect is based on how the input of the owner into the business will dictate its success. For example, if the owner of the honey business chooses to put 7 days into the business, it would be difficult for he or she to make time for other excursions, such as holidays. Restrictive funding is another disadvantage in the sense that it would limit activities that would benefit the business, such as building expansion and employee maintenance within the honey business. The final disadvantage is having the business end if the owner dies or withdraws. This generally means that the life of the business is tied to the life of the owner, signifying the business will only go as far as the owner will or can. Now, I want to hand it over to Adela, who will talk about the advantages.
Hi, my name is Adela, and today I will be talking about a sole trader's advantages. One advantage is that it is quick to set up and wind down. A sole trader's process of setting up is known to be very straightforward and effortless. So basically, to set up, a sole trader would register as a self-employed individual with Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs through an online form. It's that simple. Fill out the form and it's done. This will also give a sole trader an easy advantage of not having to comply with as much regulations as would other business structures after setting up. One example of this is that sole traders do not have to pay for taxes on profit. The taxes are accounted for in the individual's personal tax. This means less paperwork for them. Another advantage is that owner total autonomy over business decisions. This sole trader advantage is about having full control over what goes on in your business. So a sole trader wouldn't have to check in with other individuals in regards of the business's visions, goals, or any decisions needing to be made. They would be able to make all the decisions on their own. This also goes for lifestyle. The sole trader can plan around their business to cater to their personal lives for things such as holidays, family commitments, or any other situation. A further advantage is that there is no formal guidelines for financial statements. This means that the financial statements can be completed fairly easy, even for someone with not much business experience. Now I will hand it over to Amelia, who will be talking about the disadvantages of a partnership.
My name is Amelia Pohahau, and I will be discussing the disadvantages of a partnership. A partnership is a legal business which is created by two or more individuals that share the profits and management of the business. Similar to the operations of a sole trader, a partnership involves unlimited liability. Therefore, the partners of a business will be liable for all debts and that the business incurs. This means, in a scenario of becoming financially unstable, all members will be responsible for the payment of debts through selling their assets, irrespective of the partner's position within the honey business. Another disadvantage of partnership within the business is mutual agency. The partners may dispute over profit sharing or the process and decision making for the future development of the business. If a partner makes a risky decision on behalf of Winnie's honey without the approval or recognition of the other members, this can ultimately result in major disagreements. Lastly, a business under a partnership is not guaranteed to continue operating in the future as it is unpredictable. The honey business will not continue to function in the event that one partner dies or withdraws from the business, therefore limits the potential future. I will be handing it on to Mohammed, who will be discussing the advantages.
Okay, thank you, Emilio. So today I'd like to be talking about the partnership advantages. So one advantage is it's easy to set up. As Adela mentioned before, the process is easy, but for partnerships it requires a bit more effort because there is an act called the Partnership Act. This covers how much a partner puts into their business, what properties are included, such as workplace, environments, or what's being invested, how partners will get their income, what their salary or wages may be, and what each partner does on a day-to-day business. And also how they resolve disputes and what happens if a partner passes away or pulls out of the business, and also how they could sell the business. Each partner pays its own individual tax. This just means that there's no separate paperwork for the whole partnership business. Unlike Abel mentioned with sole traders, there are no limitations in skill or talents from each partner. For example, there are specific people that may have better skill sets in specific areas such as accounting, financial, or even in the process of making honey. And that just most advantages of in a partnership. So now I'd like to hand it over to Ezra, where she'll be talking about the disadvantages of companies.
Thanks, Mohammed. Hi, my name is Ezra and I'll be talking about the company disadvantages. So what is a company? A company is a form of business that has a unique characteristic of having people known as shareholders. What are company disadvantages? Company disadvantages are attributes that bring a company down or make them seem less attractive. One disadvantage of a company is that they have more tax compliance than a sole trader. They are also found to be more expensive to maintain than a sole trader, as a company has to pay more fees when setting up. Another disadvantage is that unlike sole trader and partnership, there are a lot more regulations and legal obligations in the Companies Act. These require things such as filing tax and hiring staff to help run the company. When hiring staff, they have to go through Inland Revenue, making sure that they're registered with them and that they follow the number of obligations as well. In conclusion, one last disadvantage is to make sure the directors know their responsibilities. These are things such as making sure and preparing and filing documents, calling meetings, and maintaining and keeping records. That is the disadvantages of a company. Now Gloria will talk about the advantages within a company.
So I'll be talking about company advantages. So the first advantage is that a company is easy to set up. And by easy, I mean it only costs $10 to register a name, $120 to form a company, and $40 is required for the annual return that you file with the company's register. Another advantage is that once registered, a company is recognized as a separate legal entity. This just means that it's separate from individuals and other companies when it comes to accountability and liability. For example, accounts, loans, or wages payable will fall on the company rather than the individual. Ezra, who spoke before me, mentioned something about shareholders. So that's something that a company has. And having shareholders gives companies the ability to raise large sums of money by issuing more shares. This can change easily as well, with no restrictions in the shareholding area. Another thing is that companies can operate forever, unlike other structures, so there's no risk to the business if an owner passes away or withdraws. And lastly, a company pays its own tax. Owners pay tax on any dividends received. So I'll leave that with Abel speaking next. I'm going to hand over to him and he is going to explain the business structure that we're going to choose for our group and our business idea and explain why.
So in summary, just looking at all the disadvantages and advantages, the best structure for us as a honey business would be our company. This is because it is the most logical and suitable structure for us given the advantages discussed by my colleague Gloria. In comparison, a company is unlike any other structure in terms of limited liability and no limit to skill and funding, which would be most beneficial for us. Therefore, our business will register as a company as Winnie's Honey Limited. And we hope our explanations can assist you in choosing the best structure for your business.